Sandy Springs Perimeter Chamber of Commerce presents Bizconnect.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Bizconnect brought to you by the Sandy Springs Perimeter Chamber. I'd like to welcome to the show the CEO and President of Enviroscent, Mr. Rick Ruffalo. Welcome to Bizconnect.
Jim, thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah, so glad to have you here. So you're the newly installed President and CEO of Enviroscent, and I know that you've had lots of experience in a number of other Fortune 100 companies. What is your role today in Enviroscent?
Yeah, so I've had the chance since March to join a great entrepreneurial company in Enviroscent, and it's a traditional CEO president role that I get to work with a great group of people. I learn a lot every day, and every once in a while they let me make a decision, so it's all good.
And you've got a little bit of a background in this, so tell us what led you to this position.
Yeah, so I went to the University of Dayton as my undergrad, so I'm a Dayton flyer, and I had my MBA, but I never planned to be a fragrance expert or a home fragrance expert. But I actually had the opportunity to be Director of Innovation at SC Johnson for the Glade business, the air care business. This goes back to 1995. And from that point forward, I spent time there. I spent time 7 years at Bath & Body Works and the White Barn Candle Company, and also led innovation and marketing for Yankee Candles. So, you know, over the course of really 2 decades, I've had the chance to work across a number of different home fragrance and candle companies, and this was a great fit for me.
So just one thing led to another. Nothing really led you to the fragrance business. You didn't get out of college and go, I want to start smelling good and I want the world to smell good.
No, my wife probably told me I should have smelled a little better, but no, it really just kind of was happenstance and sort of serendipity. And for us, you know, for us in the industry, it's an incredibly creative industry, you know, and it's full of emotion in terms of the triggers and the memories that fragrance can bring. Sure. So it's been a fun industry to be a part of.
Oh, I bet. Well, let's jump right in. Talk to us about your products and their applications.
Sure. So Enviroscent, you know, got it started. It started really on this idea that can you get pure fragrance experience, right? So the fragrance industry has some great scents and great ways to get those scents through candles and electric products. Sure. But our product is based in paper. And it's a technology that you would think, okay, paper, how technical is that? But it actually, when you get to the porosity and all sorts of other cool things that you and I
the
probably...
word of the day, porosity.
Yeah, porosity, that's a good word. But there's a lot of chemistry to it and how to get pure fragrance. So our products don't require any other chemicals to allow the fragrance to really bloom and smell. Okay. And so you get the true fragrance experience without really the chemical overtones that sometimes some of those other products can provide. And, you know, our products are great. We can talk a lot about where we use them, but in the car, we have our product really started, our brand started in the Christmas trees and really providing scent to Christmas trees. But we can talk more about that later. But
not the Christmas trees hanging in the car. The
no,
Christmas
we don't do
trees
those.
No,
we don't. We do the ones that are the actual ones in the living room. Thank you for clarifying. Very important difference. Yes. And like I said, it's all about authentic fragrance and pure fragrance, which our products, through the technology of the paper, is allowing you to experience.
Okay, so your clients would be everyday consumers?
Oh, you bet. We have literally everyday consumers choosing to bring our products into their homes, into their cars, into their offices. And as a consumer packaged goods guy, you know, someone who's been in the consumer industry for well over 2 decades, it's so exciting when people choose your product, right? Because they don't have to have this. This isn't like, you know, they have to eat and they have to, you know, clean their house and, you know, brush their teeth and all. Those are things you have to do, right? This is something they choose to do. They bring it into their home or their car because they enjoy the scent. It makes them feel happy.
Sure. You were talking about Glade earlier, and I can remember my mother just like taking the can and spraying. There were 8 of us growing up, so there was always a can flying, and I know this is not like that. So
no, it's not. Yeah. You know, so it's funny that is how the industry really got its start, which was essentially eliminating odors, right? And if there were 8 of you, there probably a few odors to go around.
That's right. We all played sports. So.
Yes. Well, I have 5 children of my own now, and I can relate. Sure. But, you know, without a doubt, the industry got its start there. But over time, people have chosen to go not just from an odor elimination standpoint, but actually positively adding fragrance to the room. Right. And I think I shared with you a little bit earlier, you know, this idea that, you know, today's consumer, the millennial, the person older than them, Gen X person, they grew up on stores like Bath & Body Works and Yankee Candle, where fragrance became part of their sort of everyday living, whether it's for personal care products and shampoos,
so true,
or their home fragrance. And today, people really bring it on their own, right? They want to bring fragrance into their lives, and there's no better way to do it, frankly, than what we've been able to develop.
Yeah. So, what are the distribution centers? I mean, how does that work? Where would people find the product?
So, of course, we have a website, Enviroscent.com, but where most people buy it, they can buy it at the grocery store. So here in the Atlanta area, there's obviously Publix and Kroger and great grocery stores like that, but also mass merchants like Walmart and Target. And then our auto products you can buy at Advanced Auto and AutoZone and a lot of the aftermarket auto channels, which increasingly are where people come to buy fragrance products.
Sure.
But you can literally anywhere you would expect to buy consumer products, we'll probably have a product or two, if not more, in store.
Oh, very cool. So where do you see it's a big industry, right? I mean, how big an industry? Give our viewers an idea of how big the scent industry is.
Sure. So, and we're only talking home fragrance scent, right? So if you're talking about the scents of perfumes and all that takes you a whole different place.
Right.
But if you're talking about home fragrance, cars and offices,
sure,
it's over a $7 billion industry.
$7 billion?
Yeah, 7 with the B.
Oh my gosh.
And it is definitely it's been growing. I've been in it for 25 years. It's from the 1990s to where we are today. The industry has blossomed and
sure,
grown quite a bit. But what's interesting is if you actually thought about it, all the places you have scent in your home or in your life right now, you'd be blown away because it's just become just part of what you do. And what we try to do to stay ahead of that, right? And, how do you take a business that's this well developed and how do you grow it?
Right.
And what we have found is one of the biggest dissatisfiers for consumers is the idea that do they want to put chemicals in the air, right?
Sure.
Do they want it? And although the chemicals are probably fine, if you had your choice between chemical scents and pure fragrance,
right,
most people are choosing pure fragrance.
Sure.
And we feel real excited about the ability to do that.
Sure, especially, and I can tell you from my daughter-in-law and my son, who just had a baby not long ago, they want to make sure that there's nothing that it would be harmful in any way, but they want the scent. So,
you got it.
This fits right in that category of if we're going to put something in a baby's room or have something going or bring something into the home, got to make sure that it's the right product.
Jim, I mean, you were spot on, and that customer you're talking about, that consumer, the millennial, is so much more aware than I certainly ever was at their age and even today,
sure, and
they are very conscious about it. And what's interesting is if you go across categories, so forget air care for home fragrance for a minute, and you look at the food industry and you look at other personal care industries, you see the growth is being driven by the healthy choice option, right? So
for sure,
there's still, the other options are still out there,
right,
but those that have tried to maybe put a few less of the bad stuff in there and more of the good stuff, you're
sure,
seeing the millennial
people
shopper really
gravitate to
respond.
that. That's right.
And what we've tried to do and where you see success models is where you don't ask them to price it so much higher, right? So if you ask a consumer, all other things being equal, would you prefer something cleaner than maybe with more chemicals? Of course they're going to prefer cleaner or more natural, right, or more eco-friendly. But if I have to pay more for it, then you start to
start to lose.
Well, you lose some, and that
sure,
makes sense. And
sure,
so our products not only are priced well, they actually perform, and
right,
that's really the true test.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like you've got a phenomenal company, and it sounds like there's going to be some sweet-smelling success.
Oh, nice. Very good,
in the
Jim.
future. But so we're so happy that you took the time out to join us on Bizconnect. We're excited about that, and much success to you in the future.
Well, thank you so kindly. I really appreciate you having me on.
Thanks for watching Bizconnect, presented by the Sandy Springs Perimeter Chamber of Commerce.